first update on Tropical Storm Eric, which is on the verge of hurricane status this morning. With winds of 70 miles per hour and a pressure of 991 millibars at the last National Hurricane Center update, it's currently 6 a.m. Hawaiian time this July 29th as of this particular update. No landfall, but on the CDPS scale there are some impacts possible from this storm for Hawaii. A stage 2 on the CDPS, mainly with a rainfall potential more than anything else. Up to 6 inches of rain is possible as it stands right now. The current position of Eric is not far from the Central Pacific barrier now, 12.3 north, 137 degrees west. Tropical storm still and could become a hurricane very soon. It's 1,287 miles from Hawaii, 1,388 from Maui, 1,417 from Kahoolawe, 1,440 from Lanai, and 1,443 from Molokai. The storm is expected to progress towards the west-northwest. No warnings are in effect at the moment, but we could potentially end up seeing tropical storm watches or warnings start to come into place in Hawaii in a few days' time. It is still around 4 days away from its closest pass to the islands. Over the next 5 days of rainfall, this is what we're looking at on the screen. Hawaii just about there near the center you just saw. Eric's track is quite clearly delineated here on this graphic, stretching towards the west-northwest and really petering out near Hawaii, but the eastern part of the Big Island could get the largest amount of rainfall. Behind it, another line extending there in those latter frames. That's Flossie behind it. Sea surface temperatures in the area are around 27, maybe even touching 28 degrees Celsius. Its relocation early on in Eric's life certainly has done it wonders for its intensification phase, and it will give it a much better chance of reaching a higher intensity now that it is a little bit further south than what it was going to be. Here's a look at what the GFS is putting out for its intensity. There you can see with hurricane force winds moving towards the west-northwest. Some models suggesting it could now reach major hurricane status. National Hurricane Center pretty much on board with that as well. But there you go, passing Hawaii, weakening drastically there. Could actually still be a tropical storm briefly west of the Hawaiian Islands, but really it's very much gone by that point. Later on in the run there you just saw Flossie, also a hurricane headed towards Hawaii next week. Chances of tropical storm force winds from Eric, 10% at Kailua Kona, 8 at Hilo, 7 at Kahului, and 5 at Lanai. No other areas on the Hawaiian Islands have any significant percentage chances. So this is what the models are saying. The HMON calling almost for a Category 4. CTCX actually is. HWRF on board with that major hurricane as well, and the National Hurricane Center have gone along with that. Wind shear will rise drastically as we enter August, but for the next 2 days or so it's going to be favourable. Looking at the rest of those parameters, sea surface temperatures decent, relative humidity fair, and its track forecast is pretty certain. It's just whether it tracks just a little bit further north, which would be all the difference between whether Eric impacts Hawaii or not. So looking at this rather broken satellite imagery, you can see how the storm has been developing in those late frames. Not really that much going on with it right now. It is developing an eye by the looks of things, but it has sort of decayed just a little bit in the last few hours. The National Hurricane Center, I think, we're getting ready to designate hurricane status, but it hasn't quite happened for Eric just yet. I think it will be a short-term setback, and it will happen fairly soon. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colors wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.